guys, it is Friday of Contemporaryathon Day 5. I ended up doing this vlog in 2 pieces, so if you want to see what I read earlier in this week, I will link to the first half of the vlog down below. They covered Monday through Thursday. So when I ended that vlog, I said I was going to pick up a audiobook, I thought, Thursday night, but my husband and I ended up for Valentine's Day like making a nice dinner after the kids went to bed, and then we watched Singing in the Rain, which is a classic musical from like the 1950s, which held up. I loved it, we both loved it, and we also were super excited because even though it was in the 50s, there wasn't anything like overtly racist or homophobic or anything like that. So I was like, this is a movie we can actually share with our kids someday that actually can work in modern times. So I would suggest it if you like classical musicals. It was a lot of fun to watch, and just like by the time we ate after they went to bed and watched the movie, it was pretty late. So instead of starting an audiobook, I ended up picking up this book, Snow and Love, which is a collection of short stories, and they're holiday stories. And you might think, why am I reading holiday stories in February? I got this book from the library back in December, and I read a story on Christmas Eve, and it was my intention to read the rest of it that week between Christmas and New Year's, and things just kind of got really crazy because the kids got sick right around Christmas, so I just never picked it back up. And I had read like a story, so it wasn't like I was in the middle of something, so it didn't feel like any pressure to pick it back up. But now I noticed that it's due back to the library soon, so I figured I might as well just finish reading it because it'll be easy for the readathon to just read the short stories. And when I heard other people reading this book, they were saying that the middle 2 stories were really bad, but the first story and the last story were really good. So when I picked it up, I ended up starting with the bad stories to see that if I also thought they were bad, that I would end on a high note. So I actually, the first one I read was by, was by Melissa de la Cruz, and it was, I think it's called The Magi's Gifts, which is just a retelling of The Gift of the Magi. So I knew exactly what was happening, and it wasn't anything new or interesting, so it was like a blah, like just like other people said, I wouldn't pick up the book for that story. It was very short and exactly like a modern retelling of The Gift of the Magi. So if you've heard of that story and know what it's about, that's what you're gonna get, just with modern teenagers. And then the other one I read this morning, or last night into this morning, was I think it's Working in a Winter Wonderland is what it's called, and it's by Amy Friedman. I never read anything by Amy Friedman, and this one was actually supposed to be a Hanukkah story, but we don't really learn anything or see her really celebrating Hanukkah. Like, the main character is Jewish and talking about the fact that she doesn't love how there's Christmas stuff everywhere, and there's only one like scene in the entire story where she actually like celebrates Hanukkah with her family. So I don't know if the author just didn't want to go into detail. It seemed like there was much more stuff about Christmas in that story than about Hanukkah. So that one just didn't really work for me. It was just kind of boring, and the romance seemed like she was like, oh, this is supposed to be a romantic collection, I'm just gonna throw a romance here at the end. Or like maybe she had written a scene, a cute like first kiss scene, and so she's like, well, I'm just gonna create a story around this cute scene, but there was no chemistry between the characters the rest of the book, so I would not suggest that story either. So now I am starting on the story by Nick Stone. I think it's called Grounded, and that is the one that everybody seems to love, so I will hope to enjoy it. I just started it, so can't report to it yet, so I will probably let you know later tonight when I finish it. Hey guys, so it is Friday evening. My husband's putting our oldest to bed. The baby's already asleep. So I was able to finish another story, the one I had started, which was called Grounded by Nick Stone. And it was really cute. I wouldn't say it was a 5-star story because so much of it was like text messages. So it got a little old, like following like the text the whole time. But it was really cute, and it was a diverse story because the main character is Jewish and black and gay, so that was good to have a little diversity in this set of stories. So I just have one story left, and it's the Casey West story, which I saved for last because I was kind of hoping that would be my favorite. So we'll see. I hope I enjoy it. So that'll be finished tonight. while I finish off my Ben & Jerry's, what is this, peanut butter fudge core. I am not sponsored. I just feel like eating some ice cream. Hey guys, it is Saturday morning, lounging around in my robe. My husband went to go to the post office this morning, so probably will shower and get ready and all that when he's back. Bernadette's watching a little cartoons. And I wanted to share with you that last night I finished Snow and Love. I read the last short story, which was by Casey West. I think it's called Snow and Mistletoe, and I loved it. It was my favorite story in the collection. It was super cute. It kind of had a road trip feel. It was about a girl who got stranded at an airport, runs into somebody she knows, and he offers, with he and his friends, to give her a ride back home. And so they're traveling quite a while, so it takes a couple days, and so it's like their kind of road trip adventures, and it was just super sweet. I would have loved to have had that be an entire book of hers, because I just thought it was the best story in here. I loved it. So this whole collection together, you know, I love the Casey West story. The Nick Stone story was good, probably like a 4-star, and then the other two were like 1 and 2 stars. So altogether, I would say this is like a middle of the road kind of one, like a 3-star when you put it all together. But really, I wouldn't like go out and buy this book personally, because the two in the middle, I wouldn't ever read those stories again. So it's kind of hard with short story collections, you know. So I mean, it was nice getting it from the library and reading them. It was cute. And then yesterday, after I finished that, I ended up picking up an audiobook called This Is Our Story by, I think it's Ashley Elston. It's like a YA mystery type. It's about 5 boys go in the woods to go hunting. 1 boy dies, and the book, we were trying to figure out who killed the boy, because it's got to be one of the other 4 that were hunting, or at least that's what we're assuming at this point. It has to be one of the other 4, and they're all kind of like rallying together and not saying anything. So it's pretty interesting so far. I think I'm about 1/3 of the way through, because it is reading pretty fast. I listened to some last night and then some this morning when me and Eliza were like the only ones awake for a while this morning, so I was listening to it while she played, and it is really fun to listen to because it's 2 narrators. So there's a main girl who is one of the narrators, and she works for the DA's office. So her mom works for the DA, so she got this like job for after school through her mom. So she works for the DA that is doing the case. So there's part of it from her perspective, so we're learning like the insides of the case from her, and then the other perspective is from the boys. And so there's a boy, or like a guy narrator and a girl narrator, and they both have like southern accents, because this all takes place in the South. I don't know exactly what state it is. I didn't really pay attention, but like it is kind of fun listening to like the heavy southern accents and like all of that going on in the book. And the other thing that's really interesting is when we hear from her perspective, the DA actually has like a problem with his eyesight, but he doesn't want anybody to know about it, so she kind of becomes his like eyes. So whenever he's doing research for the case and they're watching like interview videos or anything like that, she's helping him out by, you know, he can hear what's happening on the videos, but she's like giving all the like nonverbal cues. So she's telling him, you know, what the boys are doing. So we are kind of feeling like we're watching these videos, because we're hearing the words and we're hearing her explain all the nonverbals. So that's really interesting. I've never really like read a story that was like that. So that aspect is really fun. So I enjoy those 2 aspects. The only thing I'm having trouble with is with the audiobook version. I'm having trouble picking out which boy is which. Like, they talk about them, and there's 4 of them, and I just getting them, and of course the boy that died, so there's 5 names, and I'm just having trouble like pinpointing which personality goes with which boy. And I think that's kind of the audiobook thing. If I was reading it, I could like really cement it in my head more, but because I'm listening, I sometimes like mess up the names. So I'm assuming that'll flesh out as the story goes more, and I'll be able to like kind of more stick with which boy is which in my head. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's kind of a fun mystery, and it already feels like there are going to be some twists and turns that I don't expect. Like, I've already kind of been feeling that, and we're only a third of the way through. So I think that's fun, because I didn't really expect that from a YA mystery. So far I am enjoying that. I'll up to you later. So it is Saturday night, and I've made quite a lot of progress on the audiobook for This Is Our Story, and I've been really enjoying it. I love the narrators, just like the really like immersive southern accent. It's like really like atmospheric and stuff. I love it. And I was gonna finish that, but then my phone died when I have an hour and a half left of the audiobook. So I have that plugged in. I'll probably still listen to it tonight before bed and finish it, because, you know, I gotta find out who the killer is. Like, there's been a lot of like fun stuff and twists and fun things. So I decided in the meantime, while it's charging, that I would pick up Book of American Martyrs and try to get a little farther. And I got to 25% tonight. And I don't know, guys, I might end up DNFing this book. It's like the first section, you know, when it was written by from the perspective of the murderer, I thought that the like writing style was just a choice of like the rambling and hard to follow was like because we were in the mind of like a crazy person. But now we're like from the victim's family's point of view, and it is still just like rambling and all over the place, and the perspective is really weird. Like, we're hearing it from the middle daughter's perspective, and sometimes it's in first person, but sometimes it's in third person, and it just is very confusing and hard to read for me. So I don't know, it must just be her writing. Like, maybe her writing style is just not a thing for me, and it's a very long book. So to try to get through this, if I really hate it, the writing style, I just don't know if I can do it. So since I'm 25%, I might tomorrow try to get to like at least like 30% and just see if it gets into the story more and gets me more hooked, because it is so long. Maybe it's just a build up. But if I get to 30% and I'm still struggling as hard as I am right now, I'm gonna give up on this book, which is sad, because I think that like the points that she's trying to make of seeing like both sides of a really controversial topic is interesting, but it just sounds like her style of writing might just not be for me, and that is a lot of book to get through. Oh, I wanted to mention one more thing about this book that bothered me, and this isn't a reason why I'm DNFing it. It's just something I want to mention because it like really irritated me. So there's the abortion doctor. He has 3 children, and the one that we're hearing from is the middle child, but there's the youngest child is actually adopted from China, and so there's a little bit in here about her adoption and when she came to live with the family and the other 2 siblings, you know, suddenly having a sister, and there's some stuff about the adoption. And for those of you who don't know, I'm a mom through adoption, so I have 2 kids that we have adopted, and there's this one point in the book where the youngest daughter, you know, she's talking about her adoption and like feeling, you know, like at the age where she can finally start asking about and stuff like that. And so the girl, Melissa, that's what her name is, the adopted child, she says to her mother, she says, "Nobody wanted me. My real mommy gave me away." And this is the response that her mother gives her. But mommy stammered, not seeming to know what to say. "But she didn't mean it, Melissa." Really? Really? Like, I'm sorry, but like, that's the answer you're gonna give your child? She didn't mean it. Accidentally just gave you away for adoption. Like, yeah, it's just like, I just read that and I was just like, what? Like, you would think, I mean, I don't know exactly word for word what I'm going to say to my children when they ask, but I know it's not going to be that. Like, that is like the worst answer ever to give your child. Yeah, so it just was like one of those, I'm like, why? So that is not a reason why I would DNF this book, but it was something that just was like, really? Hey guys, it is Sunday, so it's the last day of Contemporaryathon, and I've read quite a bit today. It turns out I didn't really have much planned. We've just been hanging out at the house, doing cleaning and stuff like that, so I've been doing plenty of reading and about to do some recording, so that's why I already have the camera set up, so I figured I would just do my update with the tripod and everything. So a Book of American Martyrs, I said yesterday that I was considering DNFing it. Well, I ended up switching to the audiobook and I'm doing a little better. So I'm going to continue for now. It's not going to finish today, obviously. I'm still like only at around the 30% mark. But I'm going to continue for now and see, because it is going a lot better with the audiobook, pushing through the writing style. And this last chapter was really interesting. So I think it's hooked me in enough to keep going for a while and see how that goes. But I decided I'm going to like still do that when I'm cleaning, but when I was sitting and relaxing, I picked up another book. At this point, I pretty much threw my TBR out the window. Out of the 4 books I had in my TBR, I read one. This was another, which I'm not going to finish, and the other 2 I haven't even picked up. But I've finished 2 other books, and I am like 2/3 of the way through this one. So who knows? What's a TBR? Okay, so I picked up Wanderlust by Jen Malone, and this is a, it just seemed like a cute romantic contemporary, and it's about a girl who, her sister was supposed to do this job running a tour group in Europe, and something happened, and so she asked her younger sister to take over for her and be her on this trip. And Bree, the main character, she has never been, like, pretty much she's been out of the state like 1 time. She's from Ohio and has barely even been out of her state, let alone out of the country. And so she's just kind of thrown into this tour guide thing where she has to pretend to be her sister, and kind of just, it's coming of age type of thing, plus fun European road trip, and then there's a romance thrown in there, and it's cute so far. Like I said, about 2/3, and I started this morning, so it's reading really fast and cute. I don't think it's gonna be like 5-star stellar, because I'm not like really loving the main character, but I'm enjoying it so far, and I like the love interest, so I'll probably finish that today, and then that'll be my last book for Contemporaryathon. Alright, if I finish that, I'll update you later today.
I like to watch it like popped up like a bag of bread.
The popcorn?
Yes.
So it is Sunday night, 11 o'clock, so that means we're officially at the end of Contemporaryathon. I just wanted to update you because I did finish my last book that I was going to do. So now I did 2 audiobooks and 3 physical books, and partway through another. So finished 5 books. That's pretty good for a week. Feeling good about everything I read too. This was a really cute book. It was headed towards a really solid 4-star romantic, contemporary, cute, fun, some great characters on here, but then I don't know, there was some stuff that happened toward the end that I just didn't love, and just kind of brought it down a little bit for me. So I don't know what my final rating is going to be, but yeah, I mean, I still would probably recommend it if you want just a fun contemporary, but I'll do my review later on if you want to check it out, probably later this week if you want to see once I compose my thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm feeling good about the Contemporaryathon this year, and the next vlog you'll see will be for the Thrillathon, which actually starts tomorrow, and so I'll probably vlog, at least do 1 vlog for that. I don't know, I might split it in half like I did this last week. So I hope you guys enjoyed your week. If you participated in Contemporaryathon, I'd love to hear what you read. Bye!